Yo, hello. Yeah, it's been a while. A lot's happened. It was about a year ago, actually, that I last uploaded a video. Um, Things that have happened since then. Lockdown, that was a big one. Coronavirus pandemic, that was big. And very recently, I also had a second child. So I haven't even been working, actually. So there you go. But now I'm back, and I mean the description of this is, yes, I've been off, and normally I work upstairs, pretty much above where I'm sat now. So long story short, this is my old office. I moved up to the top floor into like a new office when lockdown happened because I worked in there with my wife. Now we have had our second child, so that I can be close to the family, I moved back down to my original office, but in a different configuration, which is why there's a door behind me. You also see there's holes in the wall, but that's by the by. But anyway, so because I've moved down here, I am not on my main machine, I'm on my laptop. And as such, Emacs is not set up with my latest config. Let's just get into it. So this is like my old, like it's all very nicely tied in. And actually my new Emacs, or my new config, is it's not that, it's not as integrated, I'll be honest, with the visuals, but that's fine. So yeah, so this is the way that it looks currently, and it's all right. Specifically, I want to have a look at, getting this working with React and TypeScript, which is what I work on at work, and using various packages. So let's do it. The first thing I need to do is I want to use the new .emacs, the new .config configuration file. So I think in here we do Emacs touch init.el, and then if I move Emacs to Emacs the old, that'll do, right? And then I quit Emacs. And now I create it. Just kill it. Why aren't you quitting? No. No. Oh my lord. It's because, no for all. Yes. No. Okay. Let's move old to next beat. Let's quit it. There we go. Now I'll move it. There we go. That was overly complicated. Now if I open Emacs, we should open in a fresh Emacs. There we go. That should be using the init.el. So if we go to config, I did create that file, right? Where am I going? There. Got lost. Oh, that's why. What am I doing? I've forgotten how to use a computer. There we go. That's more like it. Okay. So let's just Emacs again. There we go. That's better. Okay. So that can full screen. Now let me just check over here. So the first things, let's config Emacs init.el. Cool. First thing, I'm going to copy and paste some stuff from the config that I'm actually using, just so you know, just to speed things up, because I actually want to start working in a bit. So there you go. I just want to get it working. Yeah. So the first thing is adding the all the different package archives and installing use package and making sure that it's there. The next stuff is to do with IDO, and that's just enable flex matching, IDO everywhere, and enabling IDO. Pretty self-explanatory. And again, any of these things, well, not again, but any of these things, if anyone wants to know more, then just hit a comment, add a comment below. And then this is using the built-in project package, which is it's in beta, I believe. But this is for, instead of using something like projectile, I've been using it on my main machine and I think it works pretty well. So I've been using it. What's next? Oh, and then my preferred font, which obviously this is completely personal to me and that can be skipped. That's basically just Pragmata Pro, ligatures, and then some spacing and line modes and things. And then we get into general settings. So in general settings, delete selection mode. So when you select and you start typing, it'll delete it rather than inserting. So that's general settings. The threshold, so this is for LSP related things, LSP server stuff. This is just the connections threshold, otherwise Emacs dies essentially. And the read process, so basically just, it's kind of like a cache buffer type thing, just increasing that. Again, these are for LSP related business. Then I don't want autosave, I don't want backup files, don't at me, and don't want lock files, again, don't at me. Global display line numbers mode, I want all those. So let's actually just, I'm just gonna quit Emacs, start it again, see what happens. It should just install a load of stuff. My packages, will it update them? Let's see what happens. Oh, fine. I just don't have my font installed. Config Emacs. You can see in here now, down below, it's created some of the files related to Emacs, which tells me that it has worked, because in that folder before it just had init.el, and we didn't get any errors, so that's good. Although I accidentally quit them. Config Emacs init. I actually wanted to. There we go. Is it failing here? You know what? Until I add this. Let's just comment over that. Start it again. There we go. No errors that time. init.el. Okay, and we've got line numbers and everything. Okay, now it's worked. Cool. Okay, so the next thing is, so one thing that I always do for working with like Node or anything related to Node, so like TypeScript and things like that, is I use this package, so exec path from shell. And what that does is, rather than, so Emacs uses its own path essentially. It doesn't use your your shell path. So if you add custom things to your bash RC or something, you know, add extra bin sources, stuff like that, or extra paths for executables, it doesn't pick it up. So this just uses whatever you have in your bash RC, ZSH RC, whatever. Let's add it, save it. And then there's also the always important. Let's add in all that stuff, that's fine. There's always the always important which key. I think everyone knows what that does. If not, I think I've done a video on that. Same with expand region. I always use expand region. That's a lifesaver. And then I've been using JSON mode for JSON, makes sense. And then we get on to some of the more interesting stuff. So web mode, specifically I set indents of 2 spaces, and then basically I say for JS, JSX, TS, TSX, and HTML, use web mode. In the projects that I work on, all of the CSS is styled components, so it's all within JavaScript anyway. So yeah, that's what I use. And then we've got some company stuff. Let's add this in here. So yep, company. So this is for company is for autocomplete, based on the project, especially using LSP, the language server protocol. It uses the project suggestions. And here I just set the idle delay to 0, so it immediately gives suggestions, and the minimum prefix, which is how many characters before it starts giving suggestions, and I've set that to 1, which is I think is recommended in LSP mode in their documentation. Then next is maggot or whatever you want to call it, which is source control for Git. It's a massive subject I'll go into here. Here I use the modus operandi theme. I quite like that. And then we get into LSP mode. So in this video, this is literally just copy and pasting these things, get things working, so that in like future streams, videos, whatever, can go through, can tidy things up, talk about the stuff in more depth, things like that. This is just like, basically this is an update of how I got things working using LSP mode for TypeScript Create React app projects. So LSP mode, this is just the config, so we don't want any logging. I wanted the prefix to be Control-C-L. LSP restart, so auto restart, because the server does die sometimes. It's what happens. So yep, so auto restart if it dies. Show diagnostics and hover and code actions in the little, like in LSP mode, if you looked at it in the little sidebar, basically inline on the side. So that's the config, and then there's the initialization of it, which is really straightforward these days. Whoops. To help if I actually copied the right thing, and also copied all of it, maybe. So yeah, LSP mode. If web mode, LSP deferred, and also enable which key integration. And then yep, initialize. I also use the LSP UI for things like sideline, so include that there. Then we have, so what am I using this for? Yeah, for prettier. So then we use prettier as well at work. Why is it not copying? Oh, because I'm just copying the same thing 3 times. What have I missed out there? UI. What's going on? There we go. LSP UI. Easy. LSP UI mode. That's all you need. Now we have stuff to do with prettier.js. So I found this little snippet. Oh my lord! Found this little snippet, which basically enables minor mode and I use it for prettier.js. So if it's JSX or TSX, web mode, prettier.js, easy. And that's it. That's all I've been using. This is like the basic setup. And I've used it for don't know, I used it for a few months, 3-4 months, and it worked great. Hey Marazi, how's it going? Are you interested in getting TypeScript working? lsp-mode is one of those things. I've tried it over and over again. I've tried lgot. It's never seemed to work. I tried to add it to configs that I already had that were already really complicated, and this was the first time I just sat down and thought, I'm just going to start it from scratch purely for JavaScript, TypeScript, with create React app with prettier.js, and it works pretty good, if I'm honest. I'll just put it, can I put this in the description? The description's probably not long enough. Maybe I'll do a gist. I'll do a gist of this. Put a link to that in the description. And yeah, this is going to be the base point, or the starting point that we go from, with adding, or not adding, but going through and seeing what things do, tidying things up. Basically, I'm just having a little bit of a reboot after a year of not doing anything, and I'm intrigued by doing this kind of thing live with a bit of feedback, because it's one thing, you know, recording something. It's another one to go through with people and just, you know, figure it out together, see if something's broken, figure that out. Yeah, so I mean, short, I just wanted to do this partially as a test as well. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Hopefully I'll do another one of these at some point. This has been like the length of one of my videos anyway. So in a way, I may as well do this, because if people do want to drop in, we can just talk as well, which is quite nice. So yeah, thanks for watching if you have been. If you like this kind of thing, if you want to see more Emacs, let me know in the description. Consider subscribing, liking, all those things. It helps with the algorithms and things. But yeah, if not, I mean, I'll probably do this anyway because I enjoy doing it. So yeah, cheers. I haven't got an end screen, so I'll just go back to this one. I'll just go back to this one. And then I could do like a really awkward thing of, oh, it was only 18 minutes. It's only been 18 minutes long, Marazi, don't worry, you can go back and watch it. It's all good. No worries, Hiroshi. I will be back at some point. I will do some more, and it's nice to know that some people have dropped in. You too. Thanks a lot. Yeah, next time, hopefully, we'll go into a bit more in-depth in some of these things. This is a really brief, quickly getting things set up so that I can actually do some work, because I actually need to do some work now. So yeah, anyway, thanks a lot, and peace.